This is a video about the Harbor Freight Polycarbide abrasive wheels that I've been using lately. I think it's the only Harbor Freight abrasive product that I really am happy with. I mean, these things are just wonderful. And I had to use them, digging out for a project right now that I'm into. So I figured I'd just show you how good they really work. Basically, they look like a real thick grinding wheel, but what they are is a abrasive that's actually put in like a web of plastic, and they really work great for removing rust, paint, powder coat, and even the mill scale that you get on hot roll steel. About the only thing that I don't like about them is they made them a little bit too big to fit under the safety guard on my 4.5-inch grinder, so you have to remove the safety guard. And I tell you what, these things can cause a nasty gouge in your skin if you should, catch yourself with one. But they just go on like a regular grinding wheel, and they use the same arbor size and everything. Just make sure your grinder is under 11,000 RPM. And when you're using these things, you really want to make sure that you've got a face shield and goggles and, something to protect your skin, because these little particles come flying out of here and they hurt when they hit you. So here's a piece of hot roll steel I'm going to show first, and there's all that mill finish on it. That's always really a beast to get off. I mean, you can sandblast it, but it takes a lot of time. So what I do is I usually just, hit it with one of these first. Then I'll just go back and clean it up a little. Now, these things, it looks like you're getting a rough finish in this video, but it's really a fairly smooth finish that they put on the metal when they're done. And I mean, it's so smooth that just a can of primer or coat of primer will fill in all the gouges that are left. So it really doesn't destroy the metal or anything. Now, where they really shine is on rusty metal. Here's a piece of rusty metal I'm using for my next project, and that's what got me into thinking about making this video. And, you can see just how fast they tear off all the old dirt, rust, and everything else, and it's just amazing. The only thing you want to do is make sure that you're wearing a dust mask when you take rust off, because these things just make turn into a fine powder that goes everywhere. And there you can see, how fast the job they do, and how good a job they do on rusty metal. It makes it good enough to weld on. So I'm happy because I use a lot of old rusty stuff that I find laying around. And one other finish that they handle really good is powder coat. Here's a piece of powder coat I'm going to show you on. And normally powder coat is really a beast to get off, especially if you want to weld on something, or it plugs up sandpaper and it just doesn't come off easy. Where these discs they rip it right off of there, and it comes out with a nice finish ready to weld. I thought I'd just show you, how good a job these things do and how well they work. It's one of those things from Harbor Freight that I feel really is a good value, and I always keep several of them laying around my shop for, when I'm working with dirty, rusty, or old metal. The only problem, like I said, is that they're a little bit too big to fit under the guard, so someday I'm going to make a new guard, but really you should try to find like a 5-inch sander to use these with, so you could get them under the guard. But the only other issue that I've seen with them is that, they really don't last that long, so for a big job you may have to pick up, 3 or 4 of them to get the job done. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.